style of hierarchical proportion as we go from the captains who are the lowest to the priest who's kind of in the middle, and then you got the ruler over here who's really awesome, and he's gonna kill them all basically and eat their hearts because that's what the Mayans did. They were crazy like that. Alright, so now we've got the name of the pipe by Picasso. Picasso was one of the few and one of the first Cubist along with one of the other guys. I can't remember his name. It doesn't matter though. So you've got this beautiful painting of inside a salon where people were smoking all the time because it was 1911. Everybody smoked all the time. And so it's so full of smoke you can't really see anything, and that's what really contributes to all the cubism and the abstractism, and you can't really tell anything up because nothing's happening.
This work right here is called The Fountain of the Museum of Fort Worth. The reflective surface at the top describes how you're supposed to ponder upon each artwork as you think of their beauty. And then that fall right there represents the fall and transition of cultures, and how the Mayans died and the Greeks came, but the Greeks died and the Romans came. And it represents how life keeps on moving even though cultures keep dying, because we see another reflective surface at the bottom. However, down here we see various stones, each of which reflect a different culture, which kind of symbolizes how our modern culture was based off every other culture in the world.
So we got this beautiful piece right here. It was designed by the man Piano. He's an actual man. I thought it was piano at first, but it was just missaying it. But this beautiful thing is a very modern piece of architecture. You see there's lots of glass, it's very open to the public. As you see, it's got a lot of steel, almost a postmodern flair to it, but it's modern.
This right here is the great parking garage of the Piano Museum. Over there we see security cars, and then we see a golf cart right there. And you see the floor is patterned so that it's gray and then light gray and then gray and then light gray. And that symbolizes like everything's monochrome. So it shows how modern society has degraded from the past. Like in the past we had colors everywhere in their parking garages, but in this parking garage everything is monochrome. We see those pillars right there, they serve to hold up the building. And the entrance right there is really small, showing how we live in a disconnected world, how we cannot speak to aliens properly.
So right here we've got all this wood. This wood is a very nice wood, probably some kind of birch or maybe an oak. This wood really symbolizes the effect that humanity has on the environment, because when you look at all the trees that died to get us this beautiful wood. You see the grains on this wood? Every single one of these lines is a year that wood is lived. Think of the trees that lived so long and happy lives before they died brutally to humanity. So this is a head. It's a head. I don't know how to explain it. It's African. Africans are terrible. That's why it's so long and disproportionate. His eyes are like on the side of his head. His hair is not well kept. And I don't know what's going on with his nostrils. Maybe he has a mustache or something. It's a pretty crudely drawn head. They need to get better at art. So, we've got this classic story from Buddhism, or is it Hinduism? I don't really care. So, we've got this guy who was being mean, and so he got his head cut off and replaced with an elephant's head. And here he is right here. He's got an elephant's head, and he's holding some stuff. He's got 4 arms and a really fat belly, and he probably needs to lose some weight.
Kind of look at it, see the detail in there, and the colors are just as vibrant as they can be. It has been taken incredibly good care of. You know, I know how we treat it, but somebody took the pains to make sure that piece was preserved before we acquired it here.
Alright, so we've got this beautiful mask of Gigaku. Don't even know what that means, but it's about Buddhism, and it really represents the shift from Chinese Buddhism to Japanese Buddhism. And it was used in a very elaborate dancing ritual in which they played the drums and they danced around a fire. Buddhism.
Right here we've got the auditorium. We see rows and rows of seats. They're designed to seat thousands of people in a descending fashion so that they can all see the stage. And over there we see wooden panels there and wooden panels there. And you can see that they're symmetrically aligned. And what they're supposed to do is they're supposed to hide the speakers, or maybe they are the speakers themselves. And they channel sound towards the center, in which it creates a tornado of sound. The sound travels to everyone there in a spiral fashion. And we see left speakers and right speakers, and since they clash, we get sound in the middle, which is wonderful to presentation.
So this we call wings. It's a guy, it's a sculpture. Get some wings in these books, so basically that knowledge is freeing and that you can fly, because birds have always been a symbol of freeness. And books can set you free because books have knowledge and knowledge sets you free. Boom, go. So we got this minimalist art form for Carl Andre, and it's basically just acrylic foam that's been poured down in a wall, and the wall has shaped it in such a way, and the unpredictability of the art is very classifying of the minimalist era, as well as the 2 tones of the foam. You got the black and you got the gray and maybe some white down there-ish. Yeah. So here we've got this diagonal fluorescent light, and like most of this modern art, it seems to be by an American. And leave it to the Americans to find something that's totally non-artistic and call it art because art. So this is a line that's placed in a diagonal line, and therefore it's art.
This reflective pool that we see here is very symbolic of the society we live in. At the bottom, we see thousands of leaves. These leaves symbolize the uneducated masses. However, we see in the middle some leaves that struggle to reach the top of the water. Those leaves symbolize the middle class, those who are trying to get higher in society. However, some leaves remain floating on top, and they're very mobile. You see that one moves around a lot. Those leaves at the top symbolize the rich and powerful. Those leaves affect everything else in the water.
Metal trees. More trees and slanted buildings in the background with lots of lines, lots of metal lines, so much metal stuff. You must have taken a cast metal of the actual tree and then just done that. Balloon it up real big and put it on the other side of the water where we can't reach it because of water.